And a good Thursday, everybody. Welcome in Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos. Back at the – we're the hosts. Back at the studio. We're at the Barlines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Here, having a good time. What's up, Joe?
Ready for a really fun show today. Has Jeff Fisher join us at 1 o'clock today. Excited to talk to Coach Fisher, and then lots to talk about with the games that are going on, and everybody's enthralled by the NBA series. I didn't know there's so many Knicks fans around. Where have I been?
They're all coming out, whatever.
Yeah, right.
I mean, here's what I care about. We, as a sports fan, I love sports, and I love a compelling series. And we have been lucky enough to have a compelling NBA Finals and what could be the greatest Stanley Cup Final, at least at recent memory.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I don't care. I really don't care who wins in either one. I have enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's been really good.
I hope the Spurs can win Game 5 and keep it going.
I
don't think they're going to.
I turned it off in the third quarter. I'm like, I'm done. I went to bed. And then I wake up and I see the first thing I see when I get my phone, turn my phone, was the Falcons logo with the spur, on the bottom. I was like, wait, what? And then you look and you saw how the Spurs blew the lead last night. And then the memes just started flying through this morning. So the internet, once again, remains undefeated when something like that happens. But it was I went to bed, man.
Yeah.
Why? You know? Yeah.
Well, because they're down 29 at one point, and then you're watching the second half, and you see some signs of life, and I think they cut it to 15, but it felt like they could never get closer, and so I did the old, okay, I'm going to shut down, I'm going to go get in bed, and I'm going to watch the rest of it.
Right.
And so during that time, I get, lay down, turn the TV on, and they had cut it to 10 or 11 at that point.
Yeah.
And I just I'm watching Jalen Brunson. I'm like, uh-oh. He's about to take over. And that's the thing with the NBA. With a 24-second shot clock, 10 points with less than 5 minutes really doesn't matter.
You're right. Plus, the last play of the game, and there's some great angles with a tip in. And you talk about maximum effort from that dude. What's his name? OJ? They made the tip in last night.
Yeah.
OG and
What's
Anunoby.
his name? What's it again?
OG and Anunoby.
There you go. That guy, the effort he showed on making that tip go in should be shown in every locker room around, because he gave 100% effort to go up, get position, tip it in, and then just collapse to the ground. I was like, that is awesome to do that. And so they win up 3-1, go to San Antonio for the game 5. Saturday night? Was it Saturday?
Yeah. So we have Stanley Cup Final tonight. We have nothing tomorrow, which is a crime.
Okay.
And then we have a Game 5 on Saturday.
Well, tomorrow night we have JoJo's 40th high school reunion. That's the reason there's no Stanley Cup Final
over there at McGavick.
So there's nothing happening tomorrow night except for that big event. So it's actually an all 80s McGavick High School reunion. So if you graduated from 80 to 89, you can come tomorrow night to the big event.
Okay.
So it's not relegated to the class of 86. So if you're a McGavick graduate, go to Party Foul in Donaldson tomorrow night. Tickets available at the door. Shameless plug, and we'll see you there.
Where is the Party Foul in Donaldson now?
It's right where the old Johnson's Furniture is. If you're going out from town, it's right there on Lebanon Road, right in the middle of Donaldson, which has been voted again God's country. So well done for all that.
And you've been voted once again Nashville's media darling.
26 years in a row. It's crazy. Sorry, Kelly Sutton. She comes in second every year. Maybe 1 year. When Kelly Sutton reached out to me, and Kelly, I love you so much. When she reached out to me, and she first heard about it 10 years ago, she's like, hey, what is this? And was I nominated? And how did somebody vote for that? And I was like, sorry, Kelly. I have it's out of my hands for all that. So there we have it, man.
Well, excellent stuff. Your favorite word there. 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com. What is our question of the day?
All right, so I'm scrolling through, the Instagram reels, and I come across this show from the 70s. And I remember the show vividly because I used to watch this show when I would stay with my grandfather all the time. It was called The Streets of San Francisco, and we'd watch it all the time. It only come on once a week back then, obviously, right? But that was the show we would always together. I'd spend a lot of time with him. So my question of the day is, what's one show you remember watching with your grandparents a lot? What's one show you remember watching with your grandparents a lot? 615-737-1025. For me, my grandpa, we liked The Streets of San Francisco with I can't remember Michael Douglas. I can't remember the other guy's name that was in the show. And it scrolled through. I was like, man, I'm immediately 5 years old again. Sitting with my grandpa, watch Carl Malden. That was it. Carl Malden and Michael Douglas, The Streets of San Francisco. So what show did you remember watching with your grandparents growing up? Chase McCabe.
I've just given Nick Frazier an assignment because I want to do this right. I need him to play the theme when I say it. So I need to give him a second to get it.
All right.
Get it queued up. But
let me see. So 90s. And if it's the Friends, you had the greatest grandpa of all time.
No, it's not Friends.
Okay.
Because I was with them. Well, I'll give you a hint. It was a Saturday night because I was with them on Saturdays. All right, play it.
Hold on. Oh, yeah. Walker, Texas Ranger. I had to make sure he started singing.
Every Saturday.
Oh, that's great. Did you really watch that with Grandpa?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
Grandma. Both of them.
Oh, yeah. That's so awesome.
We did not miss Walker. And it wasn't that it was abbreviated to Walker. We got to watch Walker.
Oh, yeah.
And there was another, because remember CBS back then, like Saturday, they still would show, first run shows.
Yeah.
It was like a night of television.
Yeah.
And so there was Walker and Diagnosis Murder.
Yes.
And we'd watch both of them.
Diagnosis Murder is on
That's Dick Van Dyke.
Me TV or Legends TV or one of those alternate digital channels that every time it comes on, you end up watching it.
Me TV Plus.
Me TV Plus. Thank you.
By the way, for those of you watching us on the stream right now, the big screen's behind us and it's showing like NHL Network, but it was a Cialis commercial.
Oh, great.
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
To see on this.
If you sell Cialis, we'd like to advertise with you. Just please call together at cromwellmedia.com.
Yes. Okay. So
Me TV Plus.
All right. Dr. Crane, what's yours?
So when I was like 8 or 9 years old, my grandparents used to watch Days of Our Lives and General Hospital, and they would both fall asleep probably halfway through the show. So I would just sit there in pure silence. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to change the station. So then changed it to like Channel 4, and then the afternoon news would come on.
So yours is Days of Our Lives, and what's the other one?
General Hospital.
So they were on different channels. Did you have to turn the channel, or did they turn the channel?
No, the remotes, it was right next to my grandparents' like Lazy Boys, I guess, and they would just change the channel whenever one was over.
Did you have to sneak over very quietly to make sure that you didn't wake up your grandparents?
Yeah, especially my grandfather, because there were times where the remote was in his hand and he had a good like anaconda grip on it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try to sneak this through. And there were sometimes he knew that he'd be awake and he'd just scare me and I was petrified. So
was he like Al's Toy Barn with the remote?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. When he was sleeping upright, there was no snoring, but when he kind of laid back a little bit, sawing logs.
Oh, that's awesome.
I will say, so I need to bring this up. Our text line is mad at us because we said that there's nothing going on in sports after the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Final. The World Cup does begin tomorrow.
Okay.
Today at 2.
Or today, okay. It begins today. Here is the full disclaimer. I'm going to watch the U.S. I'm going to quit caring if the U.S. is out.
There you go. Same.
because I mean, I like it, and I know there are people that live and breathe it, and more power to you. That's great. I will, I have to train myself of that. Okay, hey, it's starting because usually we don't have anything after the NBA. We just have baseball.
Right. Yeah.
So I apologize, and I will be watching, and we will be talking about it. Dr. Crane is our soccer expert, but I just kind of got to get in that mode. So the U.S. plays tomorrow.
You got bullied into this. I like this. Whoever's bullying Chase,
It was like 4 people.
Keep it up. Keep bullying him.
It was like 4 people, and I didn't mean to forget it.
I'll turn on if the U.S. is watching. I'll watch. Otherwise, don't. But I don't care. But hey, I'm not going to begrudge you if you watch.
No. I mean, I think you should watch. I've gotten really into it. When it's been on, it's one of those every 4 years things.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of get locked in.
So I akin this to getting bullied by the show Yellowstone by all y'all.
Yeah.
You got to watch it. You got to watch it. Well, I'm not watching it because you tell me I got to watch it, so I'm not going to watch it.
Well, I was the same way, and I just watched it now that it's off the air. Hey, you would like it.
Okay.
But if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it.
Thank you very much for that.
But you should watch
it. Yeah, and somebody's like, you don't watch it, I'm going to take you down to the train station. I'm like, what does that mean? I figured out after a while what it meant.
It's actually a great line.
So I was like, okay, where are we going? Can we go into the Keys? I'll go to the train station. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll do that. We'll have more coming, including your answers to our question of the day at 615-737-1025. Chase and Big Joe live at the Omni, 1025 The Game. Is this yours?
I think so, right?
Wow, well done. Chase a Big Joe 102.5 The Game. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Barlines. And our question of the day.
What TV show do you remember watching with your grandparents growing up? Like you watched every time it came on, and you think about that show now and you immediately think about your grandparents. For me, The Streets of San Francisco. Chase?
Walker, Texas Ranger.
And Dr. Crane?
General Hospital.
That's a good one, though. That's fine.
Days of Our Lives.
I love that. man.
Gunsmoke would be another one. We all, like my grandma and I, would always watch reruns of Gunsmoke.
It's good. That's another MeTV show that pops out there as well. Yeah.
MASH.
MASH is a good one. We got, all right, so Joey in Nashville says In the Heat of the Night.
Yeah, with Carol O'Connor, Archie Bunker.
Yep. 4822 says Jeopardy.
That's a great one. That's really a good one.
Lenny and 7948 both say Hee Haw, Nashville Zone.
Wow.
0749, Joe's favorite show, Little House on the Prairie.
Again, they're in September, they're taking over the Grand Ole Opry. I've been told Little House on the Prairie, like a big whole show about that. Don't go. It's the worst show ever made on TV. Don't go.
Ricky said, our buddy Ricky says WCW Saturday Night. That's a good one. Watch a little wrestling with Grandma. 4720 reruns of Gunsmoke on Sunday nights after the 10 o'clock news on Channel 5.
Oh, that's going way back. That's awesome.
Yep. Hee Haw, another one for Hee Haw. Adam in Clarksville, The Dukes of Hazzard with my grandfather.
Was that Friday nights at 7?
Yeah, probably. A lot of votes for Hee Haw. Matt says we used to watch Hee Haw all the time and Cops.
Talk about a 180 of everything.
Mike in Lebanon says me and my grandpa would watch Bob Barker and The Price is Right in the 70s and early 80s. It was awesome. Now it's on the Pluto app.
Oh, that's cool. The reruns, yeah.
Yep. 7268 for my grandmother. I always remember her watching The Price is Right while she had her daily bowl of cereal. My grandfather and I would watch Tom and Jerry. He loved to watch Bonanza or any Western. That was mine as well.
So the Tom and Jerry thing, if you ever watch an episode now that you've gotten older, all they do is beat the hell out of each other.
I know.
So you talk about violence today, that cartoon, that was the inspiration for Itchy and Scratchy.
Right. That's what it was supposed to be.
And they just beat the snot out of each other entire. So don't tell me about violence today.
William says it wasn't my grandparents. It was my late father, and it was the Waltons.
Another depressing, but that much better than Little House on the Prairie.
4312 says MASH. My grandpa watched Gunsmoke all the time. It rubbed off on me because I make my son watch it now.
Gunsmoke was just a
Marshall Dillon.
fantastic show, right?
It was.
You and
Still
Miss
is.
Kitty.
Miss Kitty, have you ever thought? Sorry. Brian says my grandparents didn't watch a lot of TV, but they would religiously watch the Atlanta Braves baseball. And I remember sitting down there in the summertime in the front window air conditioning unit blowing snowflakes because they had it so cold in the house watching the game. Talk about a good memory.
Now, that's a great memory. Watching sporting events with your grandparents, that's great, man.
Byron says, I haven't watched 5 minutes total of Walker. That's sad. You're missing out. Grandparents would have only been the news, 3, 6, and 12, no CNN or Fox. Days, Gunsmoke with the parents.
What city is that?
Days of Our Lives and Gunsmoke with the parents.
I didn't know what city that is.
I don't know.
Yeah, let us
3,
know if you're
6.
not in the Nashville proper where you were.
Is that Memphis?
Man, there's a couple channels in it I don't watch. I just know there's a 3 in Chattanooga.
6802, I Love Lucy with my grandma.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
And remember, these only came on once a week, so the fact that they're burned into your memory is really good.
Matthew in Nashville says no specific show with my grandparents. They didn't watch a ton of TV. When they did, it was Fox News or whatever major golf event was happening that day. Grandfather controlled the remote. He also says Frazier will appreciate this. If Italy was in the World Cup, would have more of my attention.
Man,
Wait.
Amen.
Italy's not in the World Cup?
No, the old news, Joe. This is.
Oh, I thought your precious home country was the best at everything.
No, he went on a whole rant about this when they missed it.
I was off that day.
No, you were here. You just weren't paying attention.
Which is normal.
You probably thought all the great stuff.
Yeah. 0040. We used to watch that Bozo the Clown show all the time. I'm pretty sure that ping pong ball bucket game was secretly training kids for the adult version. Bozo's on it too, right?
Is it still on? I know it was in Chicago, right?
No,
They
thought it was it too.
came down. No, I think they syndicated it down here.
It's over your head. Let's. Where'd Clay go? I was literally about to go to his call. All right, call back, Clay. Patrick says, "Oh man, what a great question. My grandpa was my hero, and we never missed the Rockford Files growing up. Every single show we watched, and I will watch them in reruns, thinking about my pop."
Rockford Files, probably the because Tom Selleck was on Rockford Files a lot. That's probably the precursor to Magnum PI, because until then, detectives and private eyes were really good, right? I mean, they solved everything quickly, but Rockford was like pretty infallible. I mean, he's fallible. He screwed up, he messed up, but that's a great show. Thank you, Patrick.
5662, spent every weekend with my grandmother. Had to sit through Lawrence Welk show every Saturday night.
Easy, pal. Saturdays at 7 on Channel 8 Nashville. They replay the Lawrence Welk show.
26331. I wonder how old you were when you were watching this. Sanford and Son. My dad and I watched that.
Yeah.
Wild Wild West.
It's a good one. Robert Conrad. It's a great show.
Matlock. Yeah, Grandpa Simpson. Can't miss Matlock. Andy Griffith Show.
See, I never got an Andy Griffith Show. I can't tell you one episode.
I love Andy Griffith.
You remember the drunk guy at the race that we did the video on?
Yeah.
Somebody's like, there's the NASCAR's Otis. I'm
Yeah.
like, who the hell's that? And then I realized, all right, I never got into Andy
Didn't
Griffith.
somebody get mad at you about that?
Yes, they did. It was like, they said he wasn't that drunk. I'm like, what? Did you see the video?
He's viral like across the country.
Right.
For how wasted. And somebody talked to him. I forgot who it was.
Podcast, yes.
James in Fairview, The Ralph Emery Show, and Chalk Off.
That's good times back then.
Andy Griffith and Beverly Hillbillies back to back.
Beverly Hillbillies. Very, very funny show.
Byron says it's Mayfield, Kentucky. 3 was ABC, 6 NBC, and 12 CBS.
Is that out of
It's between
Lexington?
Paducah and Murray. Isn't Mayfield where the tornadoes hit a few years ago?
That's right.
I hate that that's why I know it. But
Right.
2727 on my mother's side, Lawrence Welk and Hollywood Palace. On dad's side, Orioles baseball, and grandma taught me how to score a baseball game.
That's
awesome.
That's a great memory. Oh, man.
9111. Always watch Mama's Family with Granny while she was eating cornbread and buttermilk.
Well, let me ask you, why is that show so funny? It's on still, and it's absolutely hilarious.
It used to come on. So Fox used to do in the afternoons like a 2-hour block of like kid shows, like right when you get home from school.
Right.
So like they'd replay like Power Rangers, because Power Rangers would be on in the morning and then in the afternoon.
Okay.
And so like you had like X-Men and stuff like that. Well, then at 5, they'd rerun, they'd show reruns of stuff. So 5 was The Simpsons, and then 5:30 was Mama's Family.
Oh yeah.
And then later it was like that one kept changing, but The Simpsons were always on at 5. But I would watch. I mean, I kind of liked it.
Just you watch it. It's like why
Vicki
am I,
Lawrence.
It's like why am I laughing?
Wasn't
at
she
this?
like 40?
She was not. Yeah, she was.
Because she
young.
had done, didn't she do?
Carol
Or it was
Burnett show.
Yeah, it was a spinoff. But one Mama's Family, a spinoff of Maude.
No, it was Carol Burnett show.
Oh, Carol Burnett. Okay.
The Jeffersons were spun off of Maude.
No, Jeffersons were spun off of All in the Family.
Then Maude was spun off
Of All, it may have been All in the Family too. Now I got to look this up.
something. They were all yes.
And then there's Maude.
And then there's Maude.
Let's see. Maude. A spinoff of All in the Family.
Maude was.
Yep.
And what was the Jeffersons?
Spinoff of All in the Family.
Okay, all right.
Because remember, he was the neighbor.
George.
Yeah.
And then they moving on up.
They moved to a East Side apartment in the sky.
That's right.
Yep. The show is a spinoff of All in the Family.
Nice. Good pull.
In fact,
on that one.
I think
Good pull.
I could be wrong. I need to look this up. I believe All in the Family has the most spinoffs of any show ever.
So it'd be
Archie's Place,
Maude,
The
Jeffersons. Is there one more? I think there might be one more.
I think there is one more. Archie Bunker's Place, Maude, The Jeffersons, and then this says related shows: Gloria, Good Times, Checking In, and 704 Hauser.
I think they're all. What's the guy that created them all? He's still alive. Oh goodness, he just turned 100 years old. He created Good Times, Archie Bunker's Place. What's his name? Oh, he created his turn. Norman Lear.
All right, here we go. Spinoffs. The first spinoff was Maude, which debuted in September 1972, starring B. Arthur. Good Times is considered by some to be a spinoff of Maude, as the show's focus was Florida Evans, a character that first appeared on Maude during its initial seasons.
Okay.
The second longest lasting spinoff was The Jeffersons. Checking In was spun off of The Jeffersons,
okay,
focusing on Florence. Archie Bunker's Place was technically a spinoff, but essentially was renamed continuation of the series, but following the final season of the original. Gloria was the third spinoff of All in the Family, focusing on a now divorced Gloria starting a new life. 704 Hauser features the Bunker's house with a new family, the Cumberbatches. It was an inversion of the formula of the original series.
Okay.
So
I did not know any of that. Well, I know some of it, but that's a nice pull by you on that. Yeah, well done.
As of 2009, All in the Family has many spinoffs, directly spawning 5 other shows, 3 of which were very successful, as well as 2 of those spinoffs, each having a spinoff of their own.
You want to cry? Watch when Archie realizes Edith is dead.
Yeah,
that is because he's such a jerk, and he's trying.
Was that in All in the Family, or was that
All in the Family? That's why Archie's Bunker's Place spun off of that because
gotcha.
It was pretty much over after that. But
yeah,
that's a tough one, man. Yowzer.
615-737-1025. We'll continue to take your calls and texts on this. Jeff Fisher going to join us for the entire 1 o'clock hour live here from Barlines. So we'll talk a lot of football with Coach and also Greg Wyshysnki at 2 o'clock. It's Chasing Big Joe live at the Omni, presented by the Omni here on 102.5 The Game. This was a good one for sure. Chase and Big Joe 102.5, the game on Thursday live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Barlines. Our question of the day is a TV show you remember watching with your grandparents.
Correct.
And we've had a lot of great answers. Eric wants to weigh in on our phone line. Eric, what's up?
God.
Hey, a couple of things. Joe Norman Lear's dead. He passed away about a year and a half ago. He's no longer
you're
alive.
right.
They did tributes to him and everything.
But they had 100 years,
you
like
got
they did something for his birthday, and I was like, that happened yesterday.
Yeah. And the thing is, you didn't know me about Gene Shalit being alive. I believe.
Oh, that's right. Too. Yeah, you said Gene Shalit was dead, and he wasn't dead. Joe won Eric nothing.
I believe he is.
Gene Shalit's not dead.
All right, hang on. I will look this up. I don't even know who this is, but
Gene Shalit's on the Today Show.
He had the wild, crazy hair, glasses, and a mustache.
He is still alive. He is 100 years young.
Yep.
Hell, if I'm wrong, I apologize. I thought he had passed away. So
it's all right, buddy.
But you were talking about TV shows. I want to say a little fact on you. Also, Good Times was a spinoff of, Maude, because Florida worked on that show as the first black maid. And if you remember, her husband, John Amos, appeared on the show, but he was known as Henry on Maude, but he changed his name to James. And then later on in the episode, they introduced his dad, who was named by the name Henry. So that's kind of a wild factoid there. But guys, CBS, of course, one of the things they got known for being, they were nicknamed the country broadcasting station because they had all those shows like Mayberry RFD, the Beverly Hillbillies, Petticoat Junction, and Green Acres. In fact, Beverly Hillbillies, Petticoat Junction, and Green Acres were created by the same guy, Paul Hennon. They all got canceled in 1971 because CBS wanted to make a dramatic change, and they admitted that they made a mistake canceling all those shows because they were the number one network, went to third, and it took them about 5 or 6 years to get back to number one because they decided to cancel all those shows because they didn't want to be known as a country broadcasting station anymore because they were being watched by a lot of old folks and rural people and stuff.
Okay. It's pretty good little knowledge you got there, Eric.
Yeah. So, guys, just figure out, throw that out there. Guys, as always, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Y'all take care, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, he even offered up the own Gene Shalit one that he was wrong about, but we're wrong all the time. But it's like Norman Lear was 101 years old when he passed.
Right.
Could you imagine living to 100? I mean, it's just insane.
Okay, so I'm 61 years away from that. I mean, who knows what the world looks like in 61 years?
You won't be able to see it because of your cataracts.
Yeah, probably not.
So,
but who knows? Maybe I will. Maybe we'll have technology by then. But I go in on a Thursday afternoon and they go, right? Good.
They might zap you like Schwarzenegger in Total Recall, put you in a chair.
What
and
if
you go back to any time and place?
What if by the time? I mean, you have no chance. But
I'm surprised I'll make it through today.
I love you,
right?
But what if by the time I'm 100, like they have medicine and technology where like I'll look old, but I'll still be like running around?
Okay, if you're happy and you're healthy, sure. If I'm not a burden on anybody, I'm good.
That's my thing. Like I don't want to be.
Right.
Just sitting there staring at a wall.
Yeah, and if my daughter's got to change my diaper 15 times a day, that's no way to live.
I don't want to do that.
Right, not at all.
And I think most people feel that way. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that. 8776 said the Boston Celtics. Okay. I mean, I think a sports team.
Well, they had to grow up in that area, right? You're not going to watch those games in the 70s and 80s here or 90s.
Tim in Spring Hill says Sunday nights with grandparents, Animal Kingdom and the Wonderful World of Disney.
Yeah, that's right.
He also wants to pass this along. Thanks for always supporting mental health and God. Had to put our beautiful 12-year-old black lab down due to cancer complications yesterday and have really been hurting emotionally. House is so empty. Cannot even bear to empty Mia's water bowl. Well, you know what? You take as much time as you need.
Absolutely.
I know how it goes. I left Sawyer's bowl sitting in the same spot for probably a month.
Yeah. It's just like you're hoping that he's going to come back and drink out of that bowl. But, yeah, there's no – what is the thing it says? When you get a dog, you sign up for two things, the greatest time ever and the
worst day ever.
Yeah, the worst day. The biggest heartbreak you'll ever have.
Yep.
So yeah,
But we do it and they become a member of the family, and they always are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like will always remember Sawyer and Rusty and Wally and every dog I've ever every dog I've
That's
ever
right.
had.
So sorry, Timmy. Appreciate you, buddy.
Man. Let's go to Kenny the mailman. Kenny, what's up?
To me talking about dogs.
I know, right?
That's okay. I'm the only male. I carry treats for my dogs. I bribe. Hey, welcome to the wonderful world of Eric. I went to church camps with him as a teenager, and literally he would bring the TV guides and read to us what we were missing that week. He got us on our nerves so bad they would throw him in the swimming pool. So you're not getting fake, Eric. That's what Eric loves.
That's awesome.
Of course, watching local wrestling with my granny. Now, I just have to say this. She was precinct captain for Jackie Fargo when he ran for sheriff at West Park. He carried West Park. Absolutely true story. Jackie Fargo carried West Park running for sheriff. Now, Chase, here's a story for you. Do you know the name John Five, the guitarist?
Yep.
He is a real good hard rock guitarist. He turned with Motley Crue now. He does his own shows, and when Jack was a young teenager, it came down, I got to see him, Dad. I got to see him, so I took him. He sat there in the round. He goes, hey, fellas, I get to play what I want to tonight because everybody, the bikers were there, the wild people were there. Half his songs were from Hee Haw because he grew up with his grandparents. The only channel they had reruns of Hee Haw. He played Roy Clark and Buck Owens songs, and it was one of the funniest things to see.
That's awesome.
Jack, well, listen to this. Jack gave him a Hee Haw shirt, so he pulled him up on stage with him, and he wanted him to play rhythm on the Eddie Van Halen song where Michael Jackson's song, Is That Bad?
Beat It.
Beat It. Jack had that memorized as a teenager, so instead of playing rhythm, I mean, he was playing like Pete Townsend, just rolling his arm and jumping up and down. John Five just stepped back and started bowing to him. To this day, Jack still says that was his favorite moment ever. So you never know
that
what
is
these.
Awesome.
It is. You never know what these TV shows mean to people. A guy with demon paint on his face, spitting green, talking about Roy Clark.
That's awesome. Just shows you how connected music is.
Yep. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Kenny. As always. Appreciate it. CJ wants to answer our question of the day. CJ, what's up?
Yeah, man, how y'all doing?
Good.
Two shows we watched was I say me and my dad, my granddad was gone, but was a $6 Million Man in NWA wrestling.
Yes, that's fantastic. How old are you, buddy?
Man, I'm 59 years old.
All right, yeah, so you're my age. So, yeah, $6 Million Man. But the wrestling parts of that, I mean, what a memory. Just sitting around laughing and getting fired up for wrestling. That you had a blessed father, my man.
Hey, I'll tell you another thing. I don't know. Are you from Nashville, Joe?
Yes, sir. We both are.
Okay. Do you remember Johnson Elementary on Chestnut?
Yes. Yeah, I do. That's out by Greer Stadium.
Yep. And a lot of the I don't know what it was, man, but I was about in 5th grade, and I would see Bad Cat Brown, Tojo Yamamoto, and it was a couple of them, man. I don't know if they had a place down there or what, but they would come by the school. I'm like, hey, man, that's Shiny Bowen. All of them used to come. I don't know what they was doing, man, but I remember seeing them. So,
well, I think Tojo had a studio on Murfreesboro Road that he trained out of, which is like a quarter mile from where you are.
Dr. Crane would know that. Probably.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy, man. Well, hey, I enjoy y'all's show, man. Y'all have a good day.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, CJ.
Yeah, thank you. Dr. Crane, it's across from the Drake Hotel, wasn't it?
Yes, the Drake Hotel. That is correct.
Yeah. So that was Tojo's because he trained a lot of people. Jeff Jarrett would know this.
Who was the my dad always talked about there was a manager that had a cane and was a
Saul
bad guy.
Weingroff.
Saul, yeah.
That was my grandfather's manager.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, that's so great.
We actually, my grandmother was just speaking with the Weingroffs 2 weeks ago. There was a relative of theirs that recently passed away. But, yeah, they're still really close.
Oh, that's awesome. That's very cool. Yeah, we're all weirdly connected somehow, some way, man.
Oh, I know. I
With
mean,
everything.
it's because Dad would tell stories of going and somebody broke his cane one time, and he made my uncle, who was probably about 10, jump the rail and run under the ring and grab it, and then come back. It got away with it somehow.
Saul Weingroff?
Yes,
Okay.
Weingroff. It's like Weingroff or something like that.
I don't know why I don't remember that.
But no, he was synonymous for being a manager for a lot of those tag team partnerships. Like obviously one of them because my grandfather was with Bobby Hart, the Continental Warriors. I'm not too sure if he was a part of the tag team group when my grandfather was with Don Green, but yeah, he was with everybody.
Yeah, but he was always with the heels, right?
Correct, not with baby faces.
Yeah, but like Dad talked about him, and then Fargo and Tojo, and there was another one he always.
I'm just trying to picture Dr. Crane's grandpa watching General Hospital
after being this
just mean ass, big time, badass wrestler, and just getting lost in General Hospital. I think that's fantastic.
If I can set the scene for you real quick, it's like you go outside. I call in sick for the day in school. I go walk in the garden with them for about 45 minutes to an hour during the middle of the summer, pick some figs, pick some plums, come inside with the Kroger bag. Then he goes and sits on the couch or sits on this chair to watch General Hospital, falls asleep 25 minutes in. And it's either he has a gin and a gin dirty martini or something. And then we're just hanging out.
Love it, man. That's very cool. That's very cool.
My mom just texted me and goes, I haven't heard these stories before. George grabbed a cane. That's my uncle. I go, yeah, my dad they'd go to wrestling at the Hippodrome, I think is where it was. And so Dad was probably like 16, 17, something like that.
Yep.
And my uncle was 10 or 11, and he made him jump over the rail, run under the ring, because I think it was a match. It was Jackie Fargo and somebody, and Saul got his cane broken, and he made him go get it.
Oh, that's Hippodrome is that's where the corner of 40 and Broadway, down there, man. Yeah. My mom always talked about what that place meant to a lot of people
because it burnt down. It was before Municipal.
Same time. This book opened in 60.
Okay.
But it was an alternative. If you had a show for 1,000 people, you'd go to the Hippodrome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Well, we'll get a lot of people on this. We'll get more of your calls and texts next, and then we might get to who's going to play center, but we'll see. It's Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.
Hey guys, Big Joe here. Listen, we say all the time about talking about mental health on our show, especially for men out there. And we understand sometimes the days are long and dark and you feel like everybody's against you. Hey, they're not. We're all with you. Sometimes you have to go through those bad days to really appreciate the good days. It happens to all of us. That's why we're so honored to be partnered with the UnityCares.com. UnityCares.com is the one place to go if you need to fight anxiety, if you need to fight depression. Their whole goal is getting you back living the life you absolutely deserve. And I've heard from those who have gone through therapy and it's changed their life. I understand it's a big step when you start to go to therapy, but it's the best step you could have for what you're going through. Again, UnityCares.com is where you need to go. Go to the website, UnityCares.com, and everything you need to know is right there on that webpage. How to get started, where to start, how can I pay for this? Everything that goes on, every question you need answered is right there. And they're based right here in Middle Tennessee. And they're absolutely wonderful people who want to get you back living the best life you deserve. And again, you don't have to go through any of this alone. That's so strong. Think about that. You don't have to go through any of this alone. You just got to reach out. And they offer telehealth. It's private, it's secure, it's confidential. Everything is there for you. Telehealth is perfect for you for what you need to get back living that life. Try them out today. I tell you all the time, therapy changed my life, and I want the same for you. Your family needs it. Your kid needs it. All those needs. We need you here. You are so powerful. So please go today if you need to talk to someone. UnityCares.com. That's UnityCares.com.
Will Sanford and Son bringing us back. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday. And yet another one of our fun question of the days that have just kind of blown up.
Yeah, like it's summertime, right? So we got to have fun with this and think about grandparents. And I don't, in my travels, I don't think anybody had a bad grandpa.
No.
Right? Like, I think my grandpa is the greatest man besides Jesus to ever walk the earth in my eyes. And so thinking about these questions and watching shows with him, it really makes you smile if you're having kind of a rough day. So really appreciate all the interaction.
Coach Jeff Fisher going to join us in about 10 minutes. So looking forward to
He's a grandpa.
He is. I'm sure he'll brag on his grandkids as he usually does.
Yeah.
We'll talk to him in a few minutes. All right, some calls. Let's run through these. Rick wants to answer our question of the day. What's up, Rick?
Hey guys, enjoy your show. I listen every single day.
Thank you.
So I want to piggyback off the wrestling thing. On Saturday mornings in the 70s, I used to watch cartoons with my brother, and in the afternoon we used to watch championship wrestling from Memphis.
Yes.
And guys like Superstar Bill Dundee, Jerry Lawyer, Handsome Jimmy Valiant, Tojo Yamamoto, all those guys, man. It was great.
It was the best because it was the good versus bad, and we loved these guys.
Yes, and on Sundays with my parents, because they were usually busy on Saturdays, we would watch Shirley Temple Theater, Star Trek, and Abbott and Costello Theater. And I still watch Star Trek on Sundays to this day on Pluto, just to sort of keep the tradition alive.
I love every bit of that, man. That is perfect. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, guys.
It's cool to just look up all these guys. Jackie Fargo died in 2013 at 82 years old.
Oh man,
crazy. Let's go to Kyle. Kyle wants to weigh in. Kyle, what you got?
What's up, guys? Thanks for taking my call. And question of the day is my favorite time of the day, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
We watched Lassie, and then when Lassie got over, we watched MacGyver.
Okay.
And it was just an awesome time, and it really makes me think of my grandparents. So, again, the question of the day is awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks for listening.
What a combination. Lassie and MacGyver.
I know. That's a good one.
They should have done a collab together.
I see what you did there.
I wasn't doing anything.
Wasn't Lassie a lab? Or no, she was a collie.
She's a collie, yeah.
That's right. Every time,
it's like, what did I do?
Well, you said collab.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's what you did there. Randy wants to weigh in. Randy, what's up?
Hey, I was just listening to you on the radio. I wanted to bring it up to you that Saul Weingroff, besides being a manager, he ran Carl and Kurt von Bronner. They were German wrestlers, supposedly, but they were also turnkeys down at the Metro Jail.
No way.
Very much way. And let me tell you something, you do live.
That's good, Randy. Thanks for letting us know that bit of
Appreciate
information.
And, Jackie Fargo, I think, was the originator of the Fargo strut that Ric Flair stole.
Probably.
Yeah, it's him and Buddy Rogers did it too, but Flair credits both Rogers and Fargo.
Yep. They were really something back in the day. My Uncle Walter used to yell at the television because he wanted them to know they pulled their hair.
I love
that's
that.
great, Randy. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
Pulling his hair. I can see that, man. Yell at the TV.
After looking at what Jackie Fargo's real last name is, I can understand why he went.
Oh,
with
what
Fargo.
is it?
I'm not going to read it.
Oh, you gotta read it. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I can see why he would change that. And you're a smart man for not reading that on the air. Oh my gosh. Is that real?
I mean, according to Wikipedia.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Coming up next, we're going to spend some time with Coach Jeff Fisher. We'll talk some Cats, arena ball, and Titans and OTA, so much more. Tell some stories. Coach joins us next. Chasing Big Joe live at the Omni at Barlines, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5. The Game on this Thursday. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Barlines, and we have been looking forward to this. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chasing McCabe, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier, back at the studio. Joined now by the coach, Jeff Fisher.
Gentlemen,
with us. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to see you guys. The body language change. You guys just kind of relax, kick your feet up here. No, it's going to be story time.
I know. I said we need to call this story time with Uncle Jeff. That's right. Just what it kind of feels like.
Gosh,
but
I'm pretty good with that about every night. Gee, I heard you bring up it was a lead into the grandkid thing.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh, from between story times and swimming lessons and teaching them how to fish, and actually got one that's using a fly rod pretty well right now.
Good.
So yeah. So
how many do you have now?
7.
7 grandkids.
Yes.
That's awesome.
What's the age range?
8 to 18 months.
Nice.
Boys just took over the Senate, the House, and everything. We got a majority, but we got no voice. That's right. Just the case.
Yeah,
Right?
but the granddaughters rule the roost.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, baby. Ooh, but it's been fun. Yeah,
That's what he said when his granddaughter was born. He walked in. He was like, "Yeah, I don't matter anymore."
Yeah, I'm done.
You don't love, but you don't understand that love until you have a grandkid.
Yeah,
it's like, whoa, I didn't know this existed.
It is amazing. It's really been fun. So, and then, we got the vacation thing, that you're planning this summertime, and all that stuff. So it's been fun.
It's probably easier for you to plan vacations now than it used to be.
Well, actually, it's not.
Really?
I knew exactly what day I had off. Okay, and the afternoon before my vacation started, I was gone. Kind of thing. So that was interesting because back then you had 4 weeks, which is great. But you finish your OTAs, you finish everything, and then you cut everybody loose for that month, and you're concerned about the welfare of your team and those phone calls and things like that. But you try to disappear as long as you can, and we did that, and mostly it was our trip to Montana.
Floyd used to say that during that time he'd look at Sally and say, "Please, for the love of God, I hope the phone doesn't ring."
Oh my gosh. I mean,
because it usually wasn't good.
Everything. Yeah. Fireworks, wave runners, water skiing, don't do it, kind of thing. And I remember, that is the final talk in the team meeting, the day before on the last OTA. Stand up in the morning before the last practice. You're always going to have something fun to do at practice. I don't know if you guys remember those Izzy Dizzy and the catching the balls off the jug machines, the big guys and all that kind of stuff. But so it was a fun ending to, a pretty important session as far as the season's concerned. But that morning before the last practice, you stand up there and the do's and don'ts. And guys, please come on and go back historically to what happened to who during this time. And the most important thing is take care of your body and rest and relax and but gosh, it was a nervous month.
Did they do mini camps like they do now, like a mandatory mini camp, or was it all just OTAs?
Well, it depends. I mean, you want to go back way back. There was one mandatory mini camp unless you had a new head coaching change, and then you could have 2.
Okay.
So you could have the first one prior to the draft, and then the mandatory, which is a 3-day, and there were really no rules as far as, oh my gosh, you could imagine how we felt after Mike Ditka's mandatory mini camp. God. He tried to get the team in shape to play in freaking September in end of May, June, and you couldn't walk out of there when you were done. So it was as many practices as you want and conditioning tests and all kinds of stuff. But it was, in his mind, it was that motivating factor. Hey guys, you need to come back in shape. So I'll just set you back 2 weeks so you can't even walk before you start training again, kind of thing. But it was, the OTAs, they ranged from 14 to 16. It seems like they went back and forth. And, you could have one mandatory mini camp. And, it was, I never, it's a progression, it's so important to me that there's a recovery process after the season. And some guys will just feel good and boom, they keep going. but you got different needs of different players. We've always talked about that. You got to identify the strengths and the weaknesses, and you got to work on helping them to overcome their weaknesses, yet maintain their strengths. So what does that mean? Does that mean, okay, it's foot speed or it's whatever the issue is? Sometimes it's strength, sometimes it's on mental part of the game, but that's what you work on. So each individual player should have their own individual plan when they take off. And hopefully, and then you're going to have some testing, and when they come back and things like that, just to motivate them. But
I was going to ask you that. How mad would you get when guys would come back and not make their conditioning test because they've had 2-3 months to get it done, to get in shape, and then they're wasting your time because they got to make conditioning.
Well, I mean, early on there were a few guys that that had problems, that had weight problems and struggled and came back and they weren't in shape. But as time progressed, over the last 8 or 10 years, we didn't have those issues. You might have had a little bit of weight issue, but I remember. Okay, I had a player, and it was after I left here. I had a player. I was in St. Louis, and the strength coach. We brought everybody back to start the off-season program. Okay, so this is March, somewhere in there. So I've only been gone for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, and he calls and he goes, so and so weighed in. He left at 235 and he came in at 268. Okay. So that's do the math there, man. I mean, that's like 10 pounds a month. Right. Okay. So I said, okay, I got it. Team meeting is at noon. Then I had about 2 hours, and I called my assistant. I said, I want you to get in the car. I want you to go to every fast food place you can within the 3 or 4 blocks, and I just want you to bring bags. Just bring fast food bags. And then I called the weight room, and I got his jersey. Okay. And I got his helmet and I got a pillow. And then I set up on the stage, some little 2.5, 3 pound little barbells, things up there. And I had them laying around. I had a big old thing of chips and all kinds of stuff. And so when the players walked in, they're all there first time, they hadn't seen each other in freaking, 12 weeks or so. And everybody's happy to be there. And I'm intentionally about 2 minutes late for the meeting. I came out the back and I was wearing his jersey with a pillow tucked in front, okay, and came in, sat down, and kind of looked around, and I picked up that weight, that 2.5 pound weight, and I started doing wrist curls with this 2.5 pound weight, and then changed hands, put it down, then got up and ate some stuff, threw the food down. Finally, I went on about 10 minutes. The guys were just freaking laughing their ass off, and then I ended up with a bag of potato chips. I looked around and I put it on the ground, and dogs sometimes like to rub their backs on their bones and stuff like that. Yeah. I laid down, popped the potato chips, and just kind of rubbed my back on the bones. And I said, let's break the meeting. I'll see you outside at 1 o'clock stretch or whatever. And about 8 guys ran down to weigh themselves in just to make sure they didn't have that coming. But there's different. I didn't find him. It's just, hey, he got the message. He came back and had a great second season. But you're going to have issues and you got to deal with them. But as we speak now, the sports performance in most of these facilities around the NFL. There's a half dozen people in there right now, and they are all over the players.
Well, one of the things we've talked about is Robert Saleh, when he, pretty much started the offseason program, he said, we've gotten rid of seed oils. There's no seed oils anymore. And I remember looking at him like, what is that? But apparently that's like a huge thing that they have discovered that if they get rid of that, it's going to help the players.
Absolutely. There's all kinds of, and you got to be careful with the supplements. And, as the supplements started to come on the scene and everything, now you've got a contaminated batch of supplements, and the player, he fails the PED test. There's 2 types of tests that they take annually, and so he fails that test, and he doesn't know why, and you got a contaminated batch of supplements, and so we have really had to regulate the supplements. But guys are much more diet conscious now. Sure. There's this, that you well know about Tom Brady. To this day, he says he's never had a cup of coffee before.
Right.
I mean,
I don't trust him.
Yeah.
Trust him.
Okay. No,
not at all. How many?
Trust him as my quarterback.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You talk about having 5 or 6 different nutrition people. When you got to the Bears in '81, how many nutrition people did you have then?
You're looking at him. It was off the practice field to the tavern in Lake Forest, 4 or 5 beers, a burger, and go home and think I'm eating good.
Yep. Oh man.
Yeah.
Did you? They are called organized team activities, but they are considered optional, I guess. Did you get upset, especially with some veterans, when they wouldn't show up, or if they had discussed it with you beforehand? Like D. Mace has told us he didn't always go, but he kind of had it worked out, is at least what he would say. Or did you want everybody?
It's probably in his second tenure.
Yeah,
maybe someplace else.
But maybe Baltimore. Yeah, could have been.
I mean, if he had an issue, I mean, to answer your question, yeah, I was in touch with everybody, and I usually, the one I had we had one that was frustrating to me because there was a huge off-season workout clause, like huge, like hundreds of thousands of dollars if you make just 80% of the off-season workouts. Okay, and after his rookie season, disappeared. Showed up for the mini camps and things like that, but just disregarded that incentive. The next year, he decides, okay, he comes in for 4 days, goes back home, comes in for 4 days, goes back home, and he misses it by 2 workouts. And he's a descending player now. He's been hurt for a year and all this. Lifestyle change, boom, moved here, got engaged and made every workout and made the Pro Bowl. So, I mean, it's important to have them in the building, but I understand there's reasons, and players have family things that come up, and hey, I understand those things. But if we had a problem, if you got a good locker room, you reach out to one of your, one of your veterans and say, hey, man, get in touch with someone, so find out where he's at.
And I have a feeling if Bruce Matthews had to miss one, that's different than if Joe Dubin had to miss one.
No, I think we're talking about strengths and weaknesses there. He's got a few more weaknesses than Bruce Matthews did. I mean, he only started in the NFL at all 5 different positions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we discovered last week Bruce Matthews is not in the College Football Hall of Fame. I'm blown away that he's not in there. There's a lot of guys that aren't in there that well that aren't in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Just the college, not the university.
No,
he's he's in USC's Hall of Fame, not the college.
They have one out there.
Do
they? Yeah. Cool. No, I'd be really surprised. I would be surprised. I mean, I would say there's probably a lot of players
because you were teammates, school, right?
Yes,
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So was that different?
I was teammates with Clay Senior. Well, not Dad Matthews, but Clay, his older brother.
Was that different being Bruce's head coach, knowing that you're just a little bit older than him?
No, it was so much fun when I got there. Bruce is real quiet and probably one of the most competitive players that I've ever been around. And from this standpoint, pre-practice, post-practice, he's out there doing some kind of game, some kind of gimmick game with the guys and the balls or this or that, whatever he's doing. He was just that way. He was always competing in the meeting rooms and everything. Yet he was very, very quiet. And he was really, really a big part of, the move.
Right. Yeah. Let me ask you this before we go to the break.
Yeah.
Did the pro football change after the lockout in 2011? And I ask this because we talk about 2-a-days and 3-a-days. Right. There were no more 2-a-days after the lockout, correct? During camp?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes, I believe so. So we had, you could have 2-day practices. I mean, you couldn't have back-to-back padded practices.
Right. That's right.
And we kind of worked around it because we'd have a special teams practice in the morning, and the big guys would go in the indoor facility and they do yoga. They hated it, but we made them do it because it's all about recovery and flexibility. And then we'd have the backups out. We'd have our special teams practice. And so as we went through training camp, it was like every 5th practice was a special teams practice. You'd also weave in your special team stuff into your practice, but we became so situational based. I mean, we had a 2-minute drive. at the end of every practice or the start of every practice, if your 2 minute data the previous year shows it was about 35 or 38% of your offensive plays, then you probably need to spend at least that much practice time on your 2 minute offense and defense.
Right. Well, I just think one of the greatest things in my life, which I haven't done a lot of great things, was surviving 2 and 3 days in college. I mean, it was brutal, right?
Brutal.
And I was a long snapper, so I had the 3 days.
Yeah.
But I just think now that that's not there anymore, I just feel like that's missing. And that's old man faults and everything, but it was a pride thing to make it through those practices.
The approach when I got into the league, when you got to camp, it was you could slam dunk guaranteed that you would barely be able to walk out by the third day.
Right.
Because and now you got injuries compounding and all that kind of stuff. So the philosophy that we took on was we want you to come into great shape, because what happens is guys come in great shape right now, and after the 2 weeks of camp, their body's just tired and beat up. You don't want that to happen. You may dip a little bit, but you need to make sure that your football team is in best shape of the season before the opener starts.
He is Coach Jeff Fisher. We're going to talk some Cats, keep talking some Titans, some football, tell some stories. He's going to be with us for the 1 o'clock hour. We'll have more with him. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Joe 102.5, the game here on this Thursday. Our TV themes continue. Continuing our conversation with Coach Jeff Fisher, the Nashville Kats back at F&M Bank Arena this weekend in Clarksville. 3 straight home games, including this one against the Minnesota Monsters. I have to tell you, and this is a question and a comment. The product is so much fun to watch. And I know this has been a process over the course of the last really 3 years or longer, but watching the Cats games, watching other games, it's a fun product.
Yeah, thank you. It really is. And it's actually what captured my attention 3.5 years ago. When I got into it. I heard about it, knew about it, never seen it, maybe a play or two on a highlight thing. All the history behind it, the Cats and everything that took place here in town and across the country. But it really didn't set in until I was there and got to watch it in person for the first time. So it hasn't been easy, but we are progressing. Things are ascending league-wide, organizationally. And we're excited about where things are. This game this weekend is huge against Minnesota. It's interesting. We'll talk a lot about different things, but Minnesota and Michigan all of a sudden are, they're ascending. These are 2 new teams. They're very well coached. The Cats played Michigan last week, and I think it was a 65-51 game. I mean, there was a lot of points. It was an exciting game and so on and so forth. But both of these teams are putting points on the board and winning games. So, for the Cats to be able to figure out a way to get through this one, then they better position themselves for the playoff run. But, we got Cats have 3 games over the next 3 weekends. Not to look past this one, but the 20th is Albany, and they're already starting to talk. They're already starting to look past this week and starting to talk. And obviously, Albany hasn't lost a game, I think, in like 19 or 20 games now. The next 3 games are going to be really important for the Cats. Coach Arbett's done a great job right now. We're one call or one play away from being perfect. That thing happened up there, and we agonized on it on the bus ride back, and but that's part of it. From a commissioner's perspective, the games are good. They're increasing. The scoring is good. I think we dipped a little bit last week, but when you can say that you're averaging 87, 88 points scored in the ball game between both teams, that's a lot of scoring. And so that's up. And our streaming partners, HTN, really, I think each week is improving. And the Vice games are the Vice games. And so there's a lot of good stuff going on right now.
Well, your social media team puts out amazing content after every game. It's fun. It's exciting. I mean, that is like the new digital age of that. And that's what I follow the league anyway, but you can see the breakdown of individual teams because of what you guys do. And I think it's next level in the world of we're quick thinking, we're moving on, this and that. You guys do a good job with all that.
Yeah, thanks. Jeff Jarrett's been a huge help with us, and we got some other people at the league level that understand that the importance of that and how things change. Now we're not minimizing attendance and fan participation and those kind of things.
Right.
But it is when you can get your product out there, because let's face it, there's not. I mean, now I say not a lot going on right now, but I mean, I want to diminish what happened last night because that was absolutely amazing. But locally, there's and that's where we've got franchises in different areas of the country where it's the only game in town. That's the idea behind it, where you can go into these small markets. And with that being said, we've got another, I've been talking to, newcomers, potentials for next year.
Yeah.
So that thing is looking really good as well.
Let me ask you this. I'm sorry. You played defensive back at a high level in the National Football League. But I'm telling you, Coach, when the man in motion takes off running and he's one-on-one with that DB, I'm like, how in the hell is this DB going to cover this guy who's got a 10-yard head start? Could Jeff Fisher at 23 years old play in the how would you adapt to the arena game?
I'd probably have a lot of holding penalties, illegal contacts.
Right.
Yeah, it's only 10 yards. I mean, slow them down. Don't give up a touchdown.
Exactly right. But I'm fascinated by it.
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, the defenses are, you only got so many guys. You got 3 DBs out there, and it's hard to get help from the linebackers because you got that jack thing in the box, and all that kind of stuff. So, you're funneling, you're playing some man, playing some zone, and you got to know where your technique is, where your help is. You got boards outside, and you got a end zone. And but the thing that's interesting to me is where this game is, and I feel like it's changing over the last 3 years, is the height of the length of the receivers. If you're restricted to a 50-yard field and the restricted width that everybody's used to, a lot of this game is played in the air with their hands. I mean, they're playing it vertically, and so you got big corners and big receivers that are reaching up and making these great catches and stuff. The one thing that I would not look forward to doing is turning my back on the kickoff cover team and waiting for that ball to come down out of the net and then get possession of that ball and turn around and trying to find my way out of the end zone.
Knowing that
turn your back on 8 guys or 7 guys and the kicker that are coming down, try to undress you in front of everybody.
All right. What I love about that, the entire crowd stands up because they know. Yeah. They know something's about to happen, and I that's one of the best parts of watching that game.
It is. Go through the uprights. It's one thing. It comes off the net. It's live. You get tackled there. It's another thing. You got a loose ball there. It's a touchdown. I mean, there's all kind of things that happen. That's why we came up with the concept: the ball never dies.
Yeah, and I love that.
That's good.
Did you ever, when you were coaching the Titans? Bud owned the team for a while. Did you go to that version of the Cats or the original version?
Did not. No, I never attended a game. We've just been so busy.
Right.
I mean, there was maybe a couple of times I went out just to get some exercise and maybe go in the indoor in the late afternoon or evening, and they were in there practicing.
Yeah.
And but no, I did not pay any attention to it other than the players that. The players that came from the notables that came from a career in arena football, Kurt Warner and, Rob Baronis. We got Rob out of the Arena League and stuff like that. So you pay a little bit of attention to it. You watch a little bit of it. But beyond that, no, I really didn't. I heard all about it and then really got into it and did the research and did the homework. And so I feel like I understand where the league was 30 years ago and where it's going now. And have a pretty good, I'm extremely optimistic on where AF1's going.
Yeah. And plus the crowds in Clarksville, I mean, they get into it. They're loud. They know the game. And it's a lot of Chase. I had a blast up there watching that. It was just, everybody's involved.
Well, that and then just the engagement, the kickoff cover teams they're leaning back against the board right now, and they're talking to kids and shaking hands and doing stuff, and then take off and run and go down and wipe somebody out or get wiped out. It's like. Yeah, and then the officials are becoming more involved. When we were up there for the last game, during a commercial break, the officials were giving their flags, and the fans were throwing the flags on the field and things like that. So that's it's the interaction, the engagement, and the intimacy that really drew me to it after my first game.
So speaking of, because you referenced the game in Kentucky, and we were driving back, and I happened to have. I had the game on my iPad, and you're sitting there, and I can tell you're thinking through it, and you're like, I need to see that play again. So I was like, okay, here you go, coach. You can check it out. How have you worked with the officials, though, so they do know the proper calls? Because, I mean, I know some of these guys, this is, not their real job. I mean, they're doing this on the weekend. So how important is it?
We have a supervisor official, Jason Capagna, that has a great deal of experience in this league. He's put together crews all over the country and where we have, where the home sites are. And these guys are all coming from college football.
Right.
Now, and what's interesting about it is that when I was getting into it and we're looking at the rules and all that kind of stuff, it became apparent to me. Somebody told me that at one point 60% of the white hats. Now the white hat is the referee. Okay,
Yep.
60% of the white hats in the NFL have had experience in the indoor world because actually officiating in the indoor game, because it requires so much discipline with your eyes, and they understand the rules. The game is fast. You got to make decisions, and they just really enjoy that. So we have in different parts of the country, officiating crews are largely from college officiating conferences. And, and as a matter of fact, last weekend we were really happy, and I was happy with the results, but we had our first female white hat do a game and Michigan, and it was our game. It was the Cats game, actually, and first in indoor football history, and to be in a position to be able to say that we gave her a chance and she did well, and it was really, really cool. And so she understands the game. She's passionate and great person, and I was really happy for her. So we're happy to help any of the conferences, as we can. But back to your original point on the play in question at the Barrels game on the bus, did look at it and looked at it again and again and again, and actually, sought some perspective or opinions on it from some former NFL guys, and basically, it could have gone either way. I think you don't make that call in retrospect, or you conference over it, but that's the great part of, because it could have been officiating. OPI. Yeah, it could have been, but what's important to me is that our officiating department is in AF1 is part of the league, and we're all working together, and there's that, if you lose the subjectivity aspect in officiating, I think it destroys the game. Right. Now, granted, you got replay, and you got this, and you got that, and everything, but man, they're gonna make mistakes on occasion, and you just try to learn from them. And some things are really, really hard. I was way back when I was my year off. I went back. I was on the competition committee when I took the year off in 11, I believe it was. I actually went back to New York almost every other week to help the officiating department. And I realized at that point how difficult it is. But prior to that, I went to their annual meeting in Dallas before training camp starts, and everybody goes their ways, and all the crews are all starting to get busy. And we had some discussions on pass interference, and we basically looked at 10 plays, and we had each official that would have been responsible potentially for that call, the back officials, right? Whether yes or no, whether it's pass interference or not. And there was nothing unanimous. It was 50-50.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And these are questionable calls, kind of thing, but there was just, so you get to the upper echelon, the top level officiating for football, and you got guys that can't agree on whether it's a foul or not. And so we recognized the problem, and we tried to, at that point, the committee tried to say, okay, we got to break down in different categories what pass interference is. Okay, is it a grab? Is it a restriction? Is it an arm bar? Is it a cutoff? And so now you have at least 6 different options to say it's a foul, and it was either 1 through 6, so just to kind of simplify it and define it and teach it. But these guys are, the one thing, and again, you get me going on this stuff, but I think they deserve a lot more credit than they get. Sure. And I get frustrated, watching NFL games, and a guy running full speed, head bouncing, tracking a ball, and then and being definitive on this call on the sideline that he has possession, he maintained possession, and he got 1 foot down and his toe wasn't on the white, and he's definitive on the catch. And nobody says great call.
Right.
Those things are hard.
Right.
Yeah. You realize how hard they are.
Yes.
Considering the fact that they may not have been put in that position up, and it might be week 4, and they may not have made that call or a similar call and stuff like that. So anyway, officiating is a big part of what we're doing. And we have a lot of funny rules, and, there's games where we have to discuss them, and you get issues that come up. Fortunately, we can change the rules. whenever we want.
That helps.
Yeah.
We'll have more coming with Coach Jeff Fisher coming up next. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Joe 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday, continuing with Coach Jeff Fisher, talking some arena ball, NFL stories, all those things.
Yes.
You have a rule question.
I do. Coach, I want to know why this wasn't implemented when I was a long snapper, but were you part of the rules committee that said you can't line up over the long snapper anymore?
Yeah, I was there when we put that rule in.
Why?
Why?
I mean, I know why.
Yeah.
But why was it important to you?
Well, prior to you long snapping,
yeah, I wish
your neck was about 3 inches longer.
There you go. The worst injuries I sustained was getting my head rammed into the ground.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, the competition committee when I was on it, and still to this day, it's all about player safety.
Right.
You know, we did that. We did the horse collar. Just one game after another. We've looked at hundreds of plays.
You had a player that his career.
Dallas, what was it? Defensive back.
Roy Williams?
I don't want to say the wrong name, but there was one that.
Terrence Newman? I'm trying to think.
We joked around about naming it after him because he was later in his career. He was losing foot speed and basically was making a lot of chase tackles, and he was grabbing the back of the helmet or the shoulder pads and just jerking the player down backwards and then landing on top of him or landing on his legs. We had a lot of injuries in that, so we did that. But the defensive player thing was really, really important. And that was the genesis. I mean, you need to line up, head up on the guard. No part of your shoulder pad can be, lined up on the long snapper.
Right. Yeah.
And it changed the game because, before that, the long snapper, for those reasons, was bigger. Bruce Matthews did our long snapping and short snapping for us, and he knew how to protect himself in there. But once the rule changed, now if you could find a long snapper that could run, you pick up an extra cover guy.
That's right. Yeah, and that was the thing. Like you'd have to snap.
Yeah.
Your head's in the sand.
Yeah.
Then you had to sprint 40 yards downfield.
Yeah.
If you didn't sprint, the coach was on your ass.
Yeah.
Of why he didn't care that your head was buried in the sand. I just thought that was a really good rule because I had been there and I understood that.
Right. And there was so much other things going on. I mean, if you're on a punt return team and you're going to hold everybody up, okay, you're holding up the guard and the tackle and trying to keep them from going downfield. Well, that long snapper that's really athletic right now, he can block back and allow the guard to loop underneath and go down the field unharassed. And so you pick up, the special teams game has really, really changed. It's really sophisticated. And obviously, I'm going to give John Fossil some love because there's nobody better than him. He is an outstanding special teams coach.
It was Roy Williams with
Roy. Yeah.
Tyrone Calco.
Okay.
Because I remember when Tyrone came out, I was like, this dude's legit.
Yeah.
Out of MTSU, you guys had him and was second round.
Yeah, second round. Yeah.
And then he gets injured, blows his knee out on that, and was never the same.
Yeah, a lot of injuries. There were a lot of injuries there. Now, interesting, it's hard to officiate. You put a rule in and you go, okay, what are the unintended consequences of what if a guy's chooses to have long hair?
Right.
Okay. Well, the hair's not part of the uniform, so you can pull him down backwards by the hair. Okay, but you can't pull him down backwards by the inside collar of the shoulder pad. If you get the jersey, then if it's all jersey, then it's a different call.
Yeah.
And then of course, do you make it reviewable? No, we don't want penalties reviewable and all that kind of stuff. But there were a lot of player safety rules that were instituted, and still to this day they are. I mean, look at the kickoff. Significant game-changing rules based on the player safety origination.
Something that I wanted to ask you, when you went from at the end of the 99 season into 2000, you hired Mike Heimerdinger to come in and be the offensive coordinator. And I've always kind of said him coming in kind of unlocked Steve. Like there was another level to Steve's game that I feel like he found. But that offseason, did you notice a huge learning curve transition with him bringing his offense in? Because we're talking about that now with Brian Daboll and Cam Ward, a young quarterback, now having to learn a whole nother system, whole nother terminology. So What was that transition period like when Dinger came in, and for guys like Steve and Eddie in the offense?
It's a collaboration. When you get an offensive coordinator that comes in with a young quarterback, there's collaboration. By that I mean, when Dinger came in, Dinger looked at our system. He looked at our playbook and he goes do, and he just kept a lot of the terminology the same. But at the same time, he would expand a little bit. So when a quarterback is forced to learn system after system after system, those that know what they're doing are going to use this same terminology, if you will, or as much of it as you possibly can. And that's what Dinger did with us. He kept a lot of our terminology the same, added some things. You got to add new things and call it different, or what do you want to call it, kind of thing. That's where you really get into it, is like, okay, you go from there to kick off the first regular season game, Saturday night before the game or Friday, whenever it is. It's like, you ask your quarterback, okay, what do you like and what do you don't like? Or what are you comfortable with? And this just tell me right now, because I don't want to put you in a position to where I'm thinking something that you're not comfortable with, kind of thing. So, and a lot of that starts day one as they start to get to know each other. Coach Daboll has been in a lot of systems, and his quarterbacks are very, very well coached. And so, and expect that there is that type of collaboration going on with respect to, if you guys called this last year, hey, what do you want to call it now? Or can we keep it the same, kind of thing? So the quicker you get through that process, the better off you are. And right now, this time where we're at, they've already started installing the offense probably for the second time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chase had a good point the other day, and I want to ask you about this.
Thank you.
Will we ever see another Steve McNair again as a quarterback in the NFL?
Like that type, like just the –
Yeah, well, for the listeners, if you call a quarterback draw, okay, Steve will, in his mind, think he's a running back. And running backs are going to try to run over defensive players.
Right.
Okay. So that's how Steve's mentality was until, at the end, it was, the last few years here, it's like, dude, you need to flatten out and get out of bounds. You don't need to get gain an extra inch or 2 inches or an extra yard on the boundary because you're taking too many hits on the boundary. Just step out of bounds. We want you to stay healthy, kind of thing. And he got that towards the end of his career, but Steve was all that. If he knew he had to make a play, he was going to make that play. And from a toughness standpoint, I witnessed it firsthand. I've never seen anything like it. Before or even after Steve. It was just amazing how tough he was and what he played for.
Well, Brett Favre has a comment years ago about Steve McNair. It was like, if I could be anybody and that body's a quarterback, I'd have been Steve McNair. He's like, we've never seen it before. We'll never see it again. And you dealt with him for years. So
I did. Here's a visual for you. My oldest son broke his ankle playing University of Montana and had surgery and all this kind of stuff. So he's in the hospital here. I'm sitting there on a player's day off on Tuesday, and he's having screws taken out of his ankle and things. A minor little procedure, but nonetheless, I went over there. And so I'm sitting in the recovery area at the hospital, and I'm preparing. I'm working while he's going through this procedure. And I see somebody walk by, and I look up, and it's Steve and Michelle. It's Steve McNair and his wife. And Steve is pushing a walker across the doorway. Well, what do? I freaking call the trainer. What the hell is going on here? Our quarterback is over here at the hospital. He goes, yeah, I know. I go, yeah, but he's playing a walker. He's a coach. He goes, he's here to get epidural injection in his back just so he can practice tomorrow.
Jeez.
On the day off.
Was that the year that he was questionable every week, basically?
Oh, the day off.
I don't know. I don't know. I just know that he was always going to show up.
He was never.
He was just always going to show up. And
so the answer is no. We're not going to see that again, right?
No, you're not going to see.
Because if we see that guy's a running back. 100% of the time.
He's a linebacker or he's doing something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's tough guys out there now. I'm telling you, it's a, you know how the game is, man. These guys are all tough. And, but Steve, at that position, no, I don't think we see that again.
We'll come back and wrap up the hour with Coach Fisher coming up next. If you want to go see the Cats this weekend take on the Minnesota Monsters, caller number 5 at 615-737-1025. We have a family 4-pack of tickets to see the Cats and the Monsters at F&M Bank Arena this Saturday. Caller number 5, 615-737-1025. More coming next. Chase and Big Joe, 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game, the A-Team, that's us. Wrapping things up with Coach Fisher as the Cats back in Clarksville this weekend at F&M Bank Arena. If you couldn't win the tickets, go check it out. It's awesome for the family and not far from Nashville at all.
It is. It's, we got 3 straight home games up there. Hopefully the Cats will benefit from a week off in the first round of the playoffs, and then probably host a playoff game, and
that would be fun.
We'll just see what happens. Team is healthy, and they're scoring a lot of points, and they're playing hard, and they're very entertaining. It's a great group of guys, and roster's pretty much been stabilized, and I think this is going to be it. Next week, the Albany game is probably could be for home field throughout the playoffs, and we'll go from there. So, we're really excited about where it's going.
Chase has a bad case, and so do I, of Caucamania.
Yes.
And the only cure for it is to go to the game.
That's it. That's actually it. Yeah,
he's so much fun to watch.
Oh, gosh. Come on now. I mean, the quarterback play, you talk about it, officiating, I'm going to go through it quickly, but man, we had to put a huge point of emphasis on.
Sure.
See you soon. Thank you.
We will have more story time with Coach Fisher coming up at some point. We'll come back with Greg Wyshysnki, Stanley Cup Final, Game 5 tonight. We'll talk to him coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 105 The Game. Number 3, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5. The Game on this Thursday, continuing from the Omni Nashville Hotel. Appreciate Coach Fisher for joining us. We'll have a little bit more of an AF1 flavor coming up in a few minutes, and looking forward to that. But let's talk some Stanley Cup Final. Greg Wyshysnki from ESPN joins us now. Greg, we've texted a little bit during this. You've heard both crowds. You've seen all the games to this point. I mean, I don't want to throw around this is the best one ever because obviously I wasn't around in the early days and neither were you, but I feel like it's the best one in recent memory.
Well, without the benefit of having seen New Zealand play for the Stanley Cup or whatever, I could say that, I've been covering these since 2008 in person, and it's easily the best played one that I've covered from a gameplay perspective, from a momentum changing perspective, an offensive perspective. This is the 4th highest scoring Stanley Cup Final that we've had in the NHL. It doesn't have the drama of, say, Vancouver and Boston, which still reminds me of an entire season of a Bravo show, as far as the, it was like the Real Housewives of the Stanley Cup as far as the drama goes. But this one is by far the best played Cup Final that I've covered.
And, like, the best part is I have no idea who's going to win. I really don't. I mean, I think if it doesn't go 7, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, it really is one of those series where every single game it feels like, depending on who wins, you're like, all right, that's it. They've got the momentum. And sometimes it feels like that within, periods of games too. I will say that Carolina seemed to figure out a thing or two about the way they need to play in Game 4. I think that might have been the biggest disparity between the two teams in any of the games so far in the series. But again, like, Vegas can just come back, and if the Eichel line gets going, their veteran guys have been in this position before. They've played really well in previous Game 5s in this playoff. Counting them out would be foolish at this point.
And the thing that's crazy is Jordan Staal might be the favorite right now for the Conn Smythe if Carolina wins.
So I've had this debate with some people today here in Carolina because I'm of the mind that if Carolina wins the Cup, one of their guys is going to win the Conn Smythe. But I had some people that have votes tell me, they're thinking maybe Mitch Marner win or lose, which surprised me. Like, when I think of a guy winning the Conn Smythe in a losing effort, I think of, like, you take him off the team and this team is nowhere near a championship. McDavid winning 2 years ago, or Hextall winning for the Flyers in the 1980s. I thought Pronger deserved it for the Oilers when they lost in 2006 to the Hurricanes in the final. I'm not quite sure I'm there with Marner. I think he's going to obviously lead the playoffs by a pretty significant margin in points. So I think there's some support for him to win MVP, win or lose. But for me, I'm kind of with you, man. Like, Jordan Staal, 5 goals in the most important part of the playoffs, for a goal in each of the first 4 games. And then on top of that, obviously, throughout the playoffs has been their leader, their captain, their do-everything guy, and the best defensive center in the playoffs. I'm kind of on the Jordan Staal train right now if the Hurricanes win the Cup.
Greg, I got really good friends who can't name one NHL player, but for some reason they're watching the Stanley Cup Final because they've heard how exciting, how good it is outside the framework of the game itself. How is this a best-case scenario for the National Hockey League, how good these games have been?
Yeah, that and it just seems like the culmination of a couple of years now of hockey just being a hot property. I mean, I talked to Gary Bettman about it at the draft lottery a couple months ago, and he's like, 4 nations and the mania surrounding that USA Canada thing, then the Olympics, then you've got like the quality of gameplay. He also mentioned heated rivalry, the HBO show, as being a reason why people are coming and watching hockey, and the numbers might bear that out, especially the increase in women watching the game this season. It's sort of the culmination of a real moment for the NHL to grab people's attention about the quality of the game and where it's at right now. The fact that you've got a ton of offense, I think, is catnip for American viewers who are obviously going to watch games that are like 5-4 every night if they can. I just think it's the right series at the right time. And the fact that you have 2, as you mentioned off the top, crazy fan experiences, whether it's the tailgating in Raleigh or everything that Vegas does, I think also helps out.
Well, it's funny because, like, for McAfee, he's put a lot of hockey guys on during the Stanley Cup playoffs that normally I'd probably say 10 years ago, that doesn't happen. It just shows how well this sport has evolved. People are getting into it. And it's great because this is a lot of fun. The drama's high, and it's a championship series. So I think put all that stuff into a pot stirred around, it's a winning combination.
Sure. And to Pat's credit, like he's always been somebody who's supported the game and gets really interesting guests on. I mean, I nearly lost my mind when I saw Sidney Crosby on with McAfee once. I'm like, holy cow, like that's a pretty good get. But then on top of that, it's funny, like everybody else, I'm watching the Knicks game last night, and that series is really captured the imagination of sports fans all over the country. And listen, that's on our airwaves. So as you're watching the Knicks, you're seeing promos for tonight's game between the Knights and the Hurricanes, and hopefully everything kind of feels exciting right now about sports. Whether it's the NBA, the NHL, the World Cup starting today, it's just a time to kind of like watch these games on a nightly basis. And the fact that we've kind of gone back and forth night after night with the NBA and the NHL, I think has sort of been a real blessing for fans.
Now we've got a best 2 out of 3, and I'm not going to ask you how do you think it's going to shake out, but I mean, it's going to be exciting to watch because the game's been so close. They've been high scoring and everything. I hope it goes 7. I don't care who wins. I hope it goes 7.
Well, listen, I got what I wanted out of this, which was a win in game 4 to make it 2-2, which means that my company picks up the dime for me to go spend a few more days in Las Vegas.
Yes.
From a personal perspective, that's all I was looking for. But no, this could go 7. Or it could be Carolina kind of finding their stride. I don't know. I've been fooled before into thinking that Vegas was vulnerable, but when you start to see Carter Hart giving up 4 goals a game, I asked John Tortorella about it. He said he's not concerned about his goalie, but it's clear that Hart's not having his best series. When you see Eichel being held to 2 assists, he only has 3 goals in his last 31 playoff games, and he's really not handling Jacob Slavin all that well when he's being defended. Like, there are little signs here and there that Carolina could be tipping the series, but again, like we've seen before, all it takes is one period, specifically the second period, for the Vegas to put the hammer down and take over a game.
Greg Wyshysnki is with us from ESPN. I know what kind of a coach he is because I lived it firsthand, but why do you think Peter Laviolette is the answer for LA?
Oh, boy. I think it's because LA has kind of painted themselves in a corner with regard to, like, the team that they built. It's a veteran team. I mean, you have Panarin there, you've got Fiala there, you've got all these guys there, and if you're not going to take a step back and maybe rebuild in light of Anze Kopitar retiring, then you need to bring someone in who's going to accentuate the roster that you have. And Laviolette's pretty good at coaching a north-south game, can probably work well with the players they have on that roster. I think his system sort of fits what they have, but ultimately it's in service of what? Like, is anyone looking at the LA Kings as currently constituted as a team that can win in the West next year? What with Colorado being, healthier than they were in the conference final, and Vegas and Edmonton and all these teams still being really good? That make a ton of sense to me, but I mean, for the roster that they've built there, I mean, I think he's probably the best option that was on the table.
You text me Saturday, and I don't think I caught your joke right away, but you are right. You were right. I mean, maybe the titles aren't completely correct, but when it comes to the Preds, they, go Chris McFarland as the president of hockey ops and GM, and then bring in Rob Blake as the VP or executive VP of hockey ops. So I'm going to give you credit for it, for pretty much being right on your prediction.
Yeah, I was saying to you guys well early in the process that the way I understood it was they were looking for 2 people. Now, granted, I think the way that the titles work is that Chris will have oversight over the entire hockey operations department, and then Rob is working underneath him. But spiritually, it's kind of the same thing that I had heard, which is, Blake ran a team, and now he's here in Nashville to work with Chris, who now takes over as president and GM of a team for the first time in his career. So, look, I love Rob Blake. I think he did a real good job in LA, and I think he's a really smart hockey guy. Worked in the NHL office for a bit too in their player safety department. I think that's a really good, smart guy to have on your staff, and a good hire for both McFarland and the Predators.
I mean, obviously it's on paper and moves have to be made, things have to come into place, but do you feel like these are the two guys that could maybe take Nashville to a place they haven't been before?
I do, absolutely. I'm a huge Chris McFarland fan, and in fact, like, as I'm watching Joe Sakic hold his first press conference after taking back over as general manager in Colorado, I'm reminded of how long McFarland was there for and what relationship that was. And, you know, while Sakic has forged this reputation of being a guy who you shouldn't pick up the phone when he calls because he's probably going to fleece you, well, how much of that was the advice he was getting from McFarland when he was assistant GM, and then he takes over as GM and makes a lot of really good decisions there. So I'm a huge fan. I'm actually stunned that they were able to get an executive of that level of intelligence and quality and accomplishment to take over the team. It's clearly why they were being so patient in the process. I think he's the right guy for the job. And, you know, again, like, it's not an easy lift. There's a lot of tough decisions that have to be made, especially with the veteran players that are on this roster. But I think as far as the guy that's got what it takes to identify talent and make the necessary moves to improve the team, I think McFarland's the guy.
Well, yeah, it's going to be fun to kind of watch this all come together. It's been cool to this point. Thanks for doing this as always. Enjoy the game tonight, and hopefully we get 7.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Anytime.
Greg Wyshysnki, senior NHL writer for ESPN, joins us every Thursday at 2, presented by Old National Bank. Get old. We'll have more coming from Barlines here at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe 102.5 The Game on this Thursday, hanging out at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Barlines. We told you we had a little more AF1 flavor for you. Jared DeGroff has been nice enough to join us.
Thank
you.
you.
He is the AF1 VP for Marketing and Communications, and it's your first trip to Nashville. So we were just giving you some off-air advice, but you've been here for, what, a couple hours now?
Yeah, I landed, around 10 o'clock, 10:30 a.m.
All right, so you've had a full day.
Yeah, so far it's been a full day. I mean, I was up at 3, so it's, I've had a full day so far.
And you're staying here at the Omni,
Staying
which
here.
I can already tell you is a wonderful place.
Yep,
so.
seems great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
I told you need to venture off to Broadway, which is a couple blocks over.
Yep.
What else do you want to do? Obviously, are you here through the game?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
So I'm
you'll
here
go
for
to
the game. Here till Sunday. I mean, I got to stop at Gibson Garage. I've been a musician
Yep.
for a very long time,
Okay.
so I got to check that out.
Gibson Garage is great.
So
we do our rock. We have a rock station, and they do a lot with them. So
that makes sense. That
yeah.
makes sense.
So it's we highly recommend. We've done a few shows,
And we will tell you that Broadway, which you're going to venture out tonight, is undefeated.
Yep, it is undefeated.
Don't try to win because
Nope.
it's nobody's ever won at all.
I believe that.
Even us locals have lost a time or two.
Oh,
so.
I feel like you have to. It's just like a rite of passage. in
And
this place.
what's funny is we've done some shows downtown on Broadway in the mornings, and you'll walk down and go, smells like bad decisions.
Walk of shame.
Yeah.
Someone holding the suit, shoes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what do you do with AF1?
Sure.
What does VP of Marketing and Communications in
Sure.
title?
So I started at the beginning of April, right before the first home opener, which I believe was April 11th. So my whole role is based around making sure that AF1 gets the recognition and awareness it deserves, as well as making sure that all the teams are kind of held to a standard on social media and their other sort of marketing communications that the league would like to see. The biggest thing for AF1 right now is awareness, and how do we keep making sure we let people know what AF1 is and how is it different, and of course, why should they come to a game?
So how have you seen in the short amount of time that you've been here, viewership growth, engagement, all of that? Because I feel like you guys are doing a great job with it.
Sure. Yeah, it's grown a lot. I mean, so there are a couple big things changed this year from the years that I wasn't here and just years previous, which a lot of our games now are streamed on YouTube. There's zero barrier to entry for someone to go watch an AF1 game right now. You can go hop on YouTube anytime a game is live. Besides the Vice game of the week, it is going to be on YouTube. So, the biggest thing that I've been preaching to our teams is awareness, right? We're in small communities. We're not in New York City. We're not in Seattle, Washington. We're adjacent. So we got to make sure that people understand what AF1 is and how do we connect with them. Social media being one of them, reducing the barrier to entry by having our streams on YouTube is another. So viewership has grown tremendously. Engagement has grown tremendously just in the product itself and the content we're pushing out.
I love the catch line, the ball never stops.
Yep.
I love
dies.
the video, ball never dies. Sorry, there you go. At the videos, because we're all on that quick Instagram, give me a minute and a half. And I think you guys do such a fantastic job of giving us every highlight, the excitement, of course, who wins and loses.
Yeah.
But that's just a huge part of, because you're not the NFL. And that's why I love the AF1, because you guys aren't. You're on your own little world. But I think you guys do such a great job of really, like, I need to go because I see this and I miss that. And you guys do a great job of doing that.
Oh, absolutely. And the game is so fast paced. I mean, social media on its own, 3 seconds. That's the amount of time you have from someone seeing a video on their phone to grab their attention, to have them engaged, to have them continue to watching. So if you look at some of the content, whether it's from the team or from the league, yeah, we're transitioning every 3 seconds. Plays are really super fast. It's high scoring. It's fast paced. So the product fits what social media is looking for really well, which I think now that everyone's really bought into the fact that we got to market ourselves a lot better, there's no way to go but up.
Yeah, we called the first Cats game back in April on YouTube. I look down, there's like 12,000 people that are. Yeah. I'm like, what? Because you don't really, when you're calling a game, you're not concerned about who's watching. You don't see the numbers, but afterwards you see like, holy cow, there's that many people watching this. It's pretty cool.
Oh, it's wild. And every game that is airing is right in that 10 to 15,000 people are watching that game.
Yeah,
every week.
Well, and the other thing too is, when Coach was on with us, like the product's fun.
Yeah,
like it's a good product. Obviously, you want people to show up and see it live, and it is different seeing it live for sure than watching on YouTube. But the entertainment value is certainly there if you're watching from home as well.
Absolutely. And I think it comes down to, we were having a conversation about this. Like, yeah, you're going to watch the Yankees or your favorite baseball team on TV, but when you go to the game, that's a different level. You're going for an experience. You're watching because you love the game.
Yeah.
So same with YouTube for AF1. You're watching because you love the game, but you're going because it's a certain experience that you're hoping to get. And these teams, these leagues are delivering.
Yeah, and all the seats, I mean, you're right there on the field to the action. We're talking to the coach about the kickoff. Everybody's standing up because that's an exciting time. This is just fun. And we've talked before. It's not the NFL, and that's why I love this. It's its own world, and it was so much fun seeing the crowd engage. You'll love Clarksville. You'll love that arena.
And they love you guys, or they love the league. They love the Cats.
Yeah.
I mean, they have embraced it.
No, I'm looking forward to it. So, I mean, I was doing a little bit of work with Albany prior to my I know. Prior to my involvement with AF1. So, I mean, I've seen the transition, right? I've seen the growth happen. And where else can you go and be in the end zone and have players come up and high five you?
Yeah, right.
After a touchdown.
Yeah, it's great. Chase and I got the call for the Cats last year, the Arena Crown Championship in Albany.
Yeah.
And before the game, we were just kind of walking around, and we went out to the lobby. And to see people in Albany, the lobby was packed, but the line wrapped around the building. I'm like, this is more than just arena football. This is a kind of a lifestyle.
Well, it's big news. I mean, Albany, a lot of people think, it's the capital of New York. I mean, we call it Small Albany for a reason because it's very much a working city. You kind of go in, you do your work, and you leave, you go home to your suburb. Having a professional sports team in town is huge. And Albany has not been graced with a ton. So having the Firebirds not only be a legacy team from years prior, but to be back and, doing very well, I mean, fans have rallied. And you're starting to see that happen in all these little areas as well. Nashville with the Cats and Clarksville being one of them. Duluth, Minnesota is growing a nice following, which I'm really happy to see. So
there's not a lot going on in Duluth.
It's a cool little town, though. I've been there before. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I was there a couple weeks ago for their first home game as the Minnesota Monsters. I mean, they did great. Their CEO is Meadow Lemon.
Yep.
I don't know if you know that name.
Yeah, the Globetrotters.
Yeah, Meadowlark with his father.
Yeah.
So he's running the helm over there in Minnesota. So they're going to have a great season, a great year, a great first year to the Minnesota team.
No doubt. Jared, thanks so much for doing this. Enjoy
Absolutely.
Nashville. If Greg Poe gives you advice, take the opposite.
Yeah,
will do.
No, that's not a joke. That's serious.
Please. For sure. But thanks so much for doing this, and enjoy your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
We will have more coming next. Chase and Big Joe, 105 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday.
I got to look something up.
Does this count as a TV theme?
Does
or
not.
Is it movie theme?
Because somebody said Jerry Reed wrote this song in 20 minutes.
I believe it.
And so
you know what? One of my favorite fun musical facts. You know the song Guitar Man?
Yes.
So Elvis, I think Jerry wrote it, and I think Jerry recorded it first, but Elvis did it, and his guitar player couldn't do the lick right. So he called Jerry Reed, and Jerry came and recorded the riff.
Oh, nice.
Which is pretty cool. How did Elvis sound when he called him?
He's like, Jerry, he's like, it's Jerry. He's like, I could get in trouble with this one chord. It's like a B minor, and I can't. Let's go salmon on that. Well, if you come on down here a little bit, we'll go down. I go to Sears, and I get you a suit and buy a Cadillac. It's one of my greatest. I love the Elvis story about one time he was a little in a good mood, and he rented out a Sears or something, and he brought a bunch of people there, and then they bought a bunch of clothes for him, and then he's like, let's go get some cars. And then went to a Cadillac lot and bought like 10 I mean, that's the kind of guy I would be for y'all. Yeah. I mean, what are y'all doing tonight, right? You want to get a Range Rover? Let's go get some Range Rovers and just drive over wherever they sell Range Rovers.
Would you love to be that rich?
It would be the best. I would be broke in a week. I would just buy for people. That'd be the best. I can't. Evidently, they needed a song for Smokey the Bandit, and Jerry Reed went and recorded it, but it didn't say how quick it was. I heard it was like 20, 25 minutes.
I love it.
Found a riff and it took it off.
Jerry Reed is one of the greatest of all time.
Oh, yeah. Listen to Amos Moses. That's a great song.
Yep, that's a good one for sure. We've had a fun show. I mean, it's
packed
been
show, man. I was going to ask the coach and Jared about our question today was, what's a favorite TV show memory you remember watching with your grandparents growing up? When you think about your grandparents' TV show, what did you watch all the time with them? Mine, with my grandpa, we watched The Streets of San Francisco. You watched
Walker, Texas Ranger.
And Dr. Crane?
General Hospital and Days of Our Lives.
Now, I will say.
That's so great.
My grandmother liked her soaps, too.
Yeah.
And so it was Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless. And I feel like there was one more. They were all on Channel 5.
There have been so many.
We'd watch Talk of the Town.
Was that with Harry Chapman and Merrill?
We was Debbie Allen before.
Debbie Allen.
And Joe Case.
And Joe
the
Case.
late Joe Case
That's right.
was on there as well. But then Merrill Rose, yeah.
Yeah.
But we watched Talk of the Town, and then the soaps came on, and that's usually when I would go to the other TV.
Oh, fancy. Somebody's rich. Had two TVs.
Well, one in the bedroom.
And watch those shows. Now, those were fun things. And I found it because I was scrolling through Instagram, and there was a Michael Douglas interview, and he talked about being in the streets of San Francisco. I'm like, God, I forgot all about that show.
Wait, he was on that show?
Yeah. He was like the young gun, and Carl Malden was the old detective. And they talked about how he couldn't find success as an actor. So his dad said, why don't you become a producer? And he won an Academy Award, Michael Douglas did, for being a producer for the famous movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Wow. Brought that to the big screen. They couldn't get it done. He was able to get it done, and with Jack Nicholson. Damn it, Homer Simpson.
Yeah,
always
not
get
Jack
it.
Nicholas.
Yeah. Because that great Simpsons
He was on the
episode
back nine at Doral.
when he's talking, Homer's like, come on, Jack Nicholas. It's Jack Nicholson or whatever it was. Anyway,
my favorite is Kim Basinger, Billy Baldwin.
So those are the ones you kind of grew up in. And the response, and that's the thing about our text. I love the responses from people like, oh, I forgot about the show with my grandparents. I remember this show with my grandparents. And so it's on and on and on. Those were fun days. Talk about the Rockford Files, Gunsmoke.
I'd watch MASH with my dad.
See, here's the deal with MASH, right? Because I hated my father so much growing up, and he loved MASH. I never watched MASH.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? No, it's not. It's stupid on my part.
Well, it is. I mean, look, it is one of the greatest television shows of all time.
It's the highest rated TV show finale ever, I think.
Yeah. And here's another one.
It's a heartbreaker.
One of my favorite, it's sad, but again, a TV fact. at the end of the third season when Colonel Potter leaves. I think it's Colonel. No, not Colonel Potter. Colonel, the first Colonel. Blake.
Yep.
Yeah. And Radar comes in to tell them that his plane had crashed and he died. Only like 2 people knew.
Correct.
Alan Alda and
Radar. And that's a great point. They had blocked the cameras. It's where you stand during different things. So everybody knew Coach. So everybody knew where to stand at that moment. Yeah. And they said just keep one camera on Radar, and they keep kind of 2 other cameras on the crew that did not know.
Yeah.
They had no idea. And it's a great, when you know that and you watch that scene with Radar reads it, and it's really tough. And it was, what's the actor that played him that passed? McLean Stevenson.
Yeah.
Never came close to attaining what he did on MASH.
No.
Never came close.
No, but it was like, because then Colonel Potter came in, and then Alan Alda was Hawkeye, and what was the other guy's name?
Hawkeye Pierce, and oh my gosh.
And he left.
Yeah. But Trapper John.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the MASH show. Then there was a Trapper John TV show later on.
Yeah.
With Wayne
Rogers.
Wayne Rogers. That's it.
Yeah.
That was what happened. That's another good question for a day. What TV character that left or was killed off changed the trajectory of a show that made you like, what in the world? When David Caruso left NYPD Blue after 1 year, I'm like, where are you going? It was really good that 1 year in NYPD Blue. I don't think it was ever the same after that, after David Caruso left.
And then Mike Farrell came in as BJ Honeycutt.
Yep.
Harry Morgan was Sherman T. Potter, and probably one of the most underrated characters was David Ogden Steers as Charles Emerson Winchester III.
Yep. Did you ever see the movie Doc Hollywood? Michael J. Fox, he's in it. Great movie.
He was on an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation too.
Michael J. Fox was?
No, David
Ogden Steers.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your TV history.
There we have it, pal.
For today. Thomas says, when I was growing up, my grandmother always watched the Braves games and Saturday night NWA WCW wrestling.
That's a great grandma.
When Skip Carey died, I felt like I lost an uncle because he was always in our home nightly. Thanks, guys. Great question. Scott in Shelbyville says Gunsmoke and Three's Company.
Oh, yeah. That's a good. But again, remember what we said earlier, these shows only came on once a week. So it'd be like, so the fact they're burned into your memory means that you watched them a lot with your grandparents. And I think that's really, really cool, man.
Coming up next, I have an idea, and I'm going to see if I can pull it off. We will tell you what day it is and play celebrity birthdays. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, The Game. Wrapping things up on this Thursday, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Appreciate Coach Fisher for joining us for the whole hour. That was fun. We told some stories, talked some arena ball, and now another one of our old friends is with us, Greg Pogue. You probably remember the Greg Pogue and Big Joe show at one point in time. I was the producer as a young pup. Just hit 14 years in the business, which is crazy. But what's up, Pogie?
Oh, just, big fans. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Appreciate
you guys, I think you two are going to fight over this until the end of time of who actually came up with the idea of celebrity birthdays.
I did.
But
He did not. I created it. Why didn't you know exactly who created it? Just trying to stoke a fire here, you rat bastard.
Did he just call me a rat bastard?
did.
Can you say that on the radio?
I don't know. You both just did.
He's the boss. He knows.
Yeah, but he's got a boss.
I do. With that, let's get to
No,
what.
I created Big Joe, the whole persona.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Well,
You take credit for that?
I'll let
Blame.
I'll let your lawyers solve that one. But let's get to what days at celebrity birthdays.
All right. First on the list, we have National Making Life Beautiful Day, as Chase and Joe and one and only Greg Pogue make life
Hello,
better.
Nick.
Hey, how
doing,
are you, Greg? Good to hear your voice, as always. National German Chocolate Cake Day is today. Corn on the Cob Day. Some people like it off the cob, but others like it on the cob. Let's see.
That you do.
No, easy, Joe. Easy now.
I don't know. It's not
Day.
bad when it's peeled back.
Cousteau Day is today, and
Maybe this was a terrible idea.
I don't know.
You asked. I wasn't.
Pizza Margarita Day, and the last one, I'm doing my best to not butcher this, King Kamehameha Day.
King Kamehameha. Oh, my
Whatever.
God. Say it again.
I'm good.
Oh, that's the greatest. King Kamehameha. King Kamehameha. Oh, my gosh. Oh, shoot that thing.
You're welcome.
Is that it?
Are you Jerry Clower now?
Might
Is
as
that what you
well
are?
be.
Okay.
All right, time for celebrity birthdays. Get these within 2 of their actual birthday, how old they are. Greg, you go first.
Well, and then one thing you did add to what I created that I like, if you get it exactly on it, you get 2 points.
Yes, that is correct.
What I created didn't have that.
Right. Greg, how old is race car driver Jackie Stewart?
84.
86.
87. Chase up 1-0. Chase, how old is Jeff Fisher's old teammate, Gary Fensick?
68.
Yeah, 69.
72. Greg, how old is Joe Montana today?
65.
70.
70 exactly. Chase up 3-0. Chase, how old's former Dallas Cowboy, Miami Dolphin safety Brock Marion?
64.
60.
56. Greg, how old is WNBA star Diana Taurasi?
52.
42.
44. Chase up 4-0. Nothing's changed in all these years.
How does he get? He didn't get it exactly.
I got
Do you
2
ever
off.
listen? You ever
2 years?
You ever? Yeah, but
I
you
got
get
1
1
point.
point,
Yeah,
right?
I got
Do
1.
you ever listen to the scoring? I do.
Yeah, I do.
It's never right.
Chaser, how old is actor Hugh Laurie?
Dr. Gregory House. 67.
62.
67 exactly. He's also Stuart Little's dad. Greg, how old is this guy who's the same height as our producer, Nick Frazier, Peter Dinklage?
All right, enough.
Yeah, really? Come on.
You said I was short like David Lee Roth and now Peter Dinklage?
Yeah, 55.
56.
57. Chase up 7-0.
He moved a block.
Chaser,
Right,
how old
Price
is
is right, you.
how old is Joshua Jackson? Was from Dawson's Creek.
40.
48.
48 exactly.
Hey, there you go.
Now it's 7-2. Greg, how old is actor Shia LaBeouf?
Shia LaBeouf.
42.
44.
40. Greg is about at 7-3. All right, lightning fast round. Chase, how old is I'm gonna give us Chase, you get how old's Joey D of Joey D and the Starlighters?
71.
85.
86. It's now 74.
Yeah, I was a big fan growing up.
Greg, you better get this one. How old is actress Adrienne Barbeau?
Married John Carpenter from
Bowling
Green. Adrienne Barbeau is 73.
74.
81. Chase, how old's drummer Frank Beard of ZZ Top?
73.
79.
77. It's now 7-5.
Saw them at F&M Bank Arena a few months ago.
Greg, how old is the lead singer Graham Russell of Air Supply? I think he's the tall one.
Yeah. Afternoon Delight.
Incorrect.
Hmm?
That's Starlight Vocal Band.
Okay, whatever. 75.
73.
76. It's now 7-6.
Oh, boy.
Chaser, how old is singer Donnie Van Zant of 38 Special?
68.
66.
74. Greg, how old is bass player Smilin' J. McDowell from BR 549?
Well, you used to play at Robert's Western World, right?
Didn't ask for that.
Well, I offered it. 65.
67.
57. And with that, it's the final. Chase wins 7-6. But Greg,
well, I was getting 2 points, so I covered.
Yes.
Hey guys, thanks.
We are your gambling state.
Well, I know we are. Thanks for everything with the Cats. You guys doing the TV. Big Joe's like on all of our sizzle reel highlights.
Thanks.
Have you seen that? Yeah,
Yes, he should be.
Yeah, because he's the loudest.
Yeah.
But
sure.
hey, thanks for everything. See you guys.
Absolutely. The great Greg Pogue joining us here on the show. That is going to do it for us here today.
Hey, listen to our guys out there. We close every show with this message. Just tell you guys how much you are absolutely loved, how much better our world is because you are here. And we understand the dark days and the potholes, and sometimes you feel like nothing's going right for you. If you're overwhelmed, take a moment, ask God for a break. Just say, Lord, I need a break from all that's going on. He'll give it to you. Keep asking God for opportunities. Know how much we love you, and know this, more importantly, more than anything else in the world, know how much God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD is coming your way next from First Horizon Park for the Sounds. That is all I had here on 102.5 The Game.